for those of you that have been asking me down in the comment section. But anyways, guys, Bernie Sanders has come out and said that he is the man in charge and he ain't changing nothing. He said the $3.5 trillion social spending bill is going to keep its price tag of $3.5 trillion. Those that don't like it can just go ahead and eat an egg. No, just kidding, guys. I was kidding about the egg part. But Bernie Sanders is making it pretty clear for everyone to hear that he said that they are keeping the current price tag of $3.5 trillion for the social spending bill. And he is confident that Joe Manchin is going to eventually go along with this bill. But we have some new breaking news as well. Joe Manchin is not the only House Democrat or the Senate Democrat that is opposing this massive stimulus bill. We have a new person that was just exposed, and she said that she will not vote in favor of this bill. She said that the price tag is just way too high, and I'm going to share with you exactly who that is. Also, on Wednesday, the House and Ways and Means Committee approved of a major portion of the social spending package. This portion would include the provisions to raise taxes on high-income individuals as well as corporations in order to offset the cost of this new spending bill. Also, closer to the end of this video, we also have some daily news updates that I want to share with you as well. Now, guys, hey, those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today. But if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, the House Ways and Means Committee. For those unfamiliar, this committee is about 42 members, with majority of them being Democrats. They have just passed a piece of legislation within the $3.5 trillion spending package. This piece is a provision in the bill that focuses on the tax hikes that are projected. These provisions would raise taxes on high-income individuals as well as corporations in order to offset the cost of the new spending. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. This is the way the Democrats have proposed on how they plan to pay for this massive stimulus package. Now, the Republicans feel that we shouldn't be spending this type of money and adding to the deficit. And the Democrats, they claim that the bill would pay for itself, as well as raise additional money over the next 4 to 8 years. Now, the Ways and Means Committee advanced this piece of legislation on Wednesday in a 24-19 vote. This will now head on over to the House Budget Committee, where it will be added to other various pieces of the spending package. Now, these provisions would also expand financial tools to expand the low-income housing tax credit and extend and expand renewable energy tax credits. The provision would also extend the child tax credit through the year of 2025, while permanently making the credit fully refundable. This would allow lowest income families to receive the full credit amount, which is some awesome news, I must say. Now, in addition to that, there were also several health-related provisions that include expanding Obamacare subsidies to allow the Healthy and Human Services Secretary to negotiate prescription drug prices. So this is huge for our seniors and our Social Security recipients, as well as those on Medicare and probably everybody else as well, because everybody has some type of drugs that they take. Legal drugs, guys. And like I said, hey, the biggest thing in this piece of legislation is the provisions to pay for this social spending bill. They plan to raise the corporate tax for income above $5 million from 21% to 26.5%. And they plan to raise the individual income tax rate from 37% to 39.6%. And they plan to raise the top capital gains rate from 20% to 25%, while imposing a 3% surtax on individuals' income above $5 million. These provisions would also provide the IRS with an additional $80 billion so that they can use to strengthen their tax enforcement and to modernize their technology tools. So, as you can see, there was some serious action being taken place yesterday. But of course, if the Democrats are unable to get full support of this bill by all 50 Democrats, then they may not be able to pass it after all. Joe Manchin still remains in opposition to the price tag of this bill, as well as the urgency of getting this bill done right now. So far, Joe Manchin has stated that he only supports about $1 to $1.5 trillion as of today, but he still needs to know exactly what's going to be in this bill that we are going to be spending this money on. Meanwhile, it appears that Bernie Sanders is getting furious on the sideline with all of the talk surrounding Joe Manchin and him potentially derailing these efforts. Bernie Sanders is taking charge and putting his foot down right now. Bernie said, look here, guys, hey, the bill is $3.5 trillion and we are not changing it. It originally was $6 trillion, but they recently compromised with Joe Manchin and lowered it to $3.5 trillion. So the price tag stands the same. For those who want the price tag to be lower, get over it, guys. It's not changing.
It doesn't look right now as if you've got the votes to get that $3.5 trillion passed. Are you prepared to compromise?
Well, I have compromised, Judy. The truth of the matter is I brought forth a budget for $6 trillion, and we need every penny of that, by the way, if we are going to deal with the extraordinary crisis facing this planet in terms of climate change and have the United States lead the world in transforming our energy system. I compromised. I took that and by the way, that $6 trillion budget, I would say, had the support of at least 80% of the Democratic caucus in the Senate. It was what people wanted. I compromised. We took it down to $3.5 trillion.
So yes, he said that they have already compromised on the price tag and it is not changing. He said we will pass this $3.5 trillion social spending package along with the bipartisan bill at the same time. They both move in tandem, which is what he said, which is also what Nancy Pelosi stated last month. But also, get this, guys, listen to what Bernie Sanders said about Joe Manchin and whether he will support this bill very soon.
But Senator, my point is you not only have blanket Republican opposition, they're calling it a socialist wish list, at least Senator McConnell is, but you also have Democrats, as I just mentioned, Senator Manchin and others who are worried this is too much. They talk about inflation. They talk about how much government money has gone out the door during this.
Well, look, we had a similar problem in terms of passing the American Rescue Plan, which, as you will recall, ended up being passed, I think, at 4 o'clock in the morning with the vice president casting the deciding vote.
You think Senator Manchin will come around?
Look, I think that at the end of the day, and by the way, everybody has a problem with this bill. I have problems with the bill. So we're working 24/7 trying to resolve everybody's problem. But if you're asking me, at the end of the day, do I think the Democratic caucus will turn its back on the needs of working families, turn its back on the unbelievable crisis we face in terms of climate change? No, I do not believe we'll turn our back. I think we will resolve it. We'll come together and we'll pass. By the way, this not only this $3.5 trillion, it is $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill, as you know, is tied together with this $550 billion physical infrastructure bill. And I hope very much that we can pass both.
So there it is, guys. Hey, Bernie is taking charge like he usually does. He is forceful and people tend to listen to him. I believe he is respected in Washington, but he is just too moderate to ever win a presidency. Also, guys, hey, Joe Manchin is no longer the only Democrat not willing to vote for the social spending bill. There is a new Democrat in town, and her name is Representative Stephanie Murphy of Florida. Yeah, I know, guys, I know. She was voted against advancing the reconciliation package on Wednesday because she said the spending and tax provisions give her a pause. Murphy was the only Democrat on the House Ways and Means Committee to break from her party and vote not to advance the provisions. In a statement, she said, "Some of the spending and tax provisions in the legislation give me pause." And as a result, she could not vote for the bill at this early stage. Now, guys, hey, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to vote for it later, right? But as of now, she cannot support this bill until further notice. Now, do I think this is a big concern for the Democrats? I really don't, guys. She is not a major player in the decision making and getting this bill passed, although she does provide some value if she does vote for it. But it appears from her statement that she could very well be on board at a later date, just not right now. It doesn't feel right for her. And they were still able to pass that piece of legislation yesterday without her vote even being needed. So no harm there. As long as we don't start getting more and more Democrats opposing this bill and its price tag, things should turn out right. Anyways, guys, hey, I will keep you guys posted on the new updates that we receive. Now it's time for our daily news bites for today. Did you guys know that there was a planned rally coming up in a few days? Actually, it's going down this Saturday on Capitol Hill. I know what you're thinking, guys. The last rally on Capitol Hill didn't turn out so well. Well, this rally is actually related to that one. This rally is in support of the people, or the rioters, who were charged criminally who stormed into the Capitol on January the 6th. And actually, the name of this rally that's happening this Saturday is Justice for J6. They are coming to Washington this weekend, and they are expecting about 700 people. Now, the organizer of this movement has asked all attendees not to wear any President Trump or President Biden clothing. He doesn't want you carrying any signs or anything related to political figures. And he said that if they do see anyone with that stuff on, then they would be considered as infiltrators. And get this, guys, he also said that if you are assumed to be an infiltrator, they will take your picture, find out who you are, and make you famous. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but if it is literal, then every wannabe TikToker and YouTuber should go to this event so that they can be made famous. It's an opportunity for everyone. But no, just kidding, guys, just kidding. I really don't know what he means by that, but we will see this weekend. I'm sure someone will go against the grain and wear something political at this event. But let's just hope that there is not another riot that breaks out, or else we could have more casualties than we did the last time. This has been another fourth stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for us. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.